Good morning. It's currently 5 to 9 and we are about to head off to the Lake District. I'm trying to do something today that I've never done before, and that is solo wild camping. Now, I've seen a load of people do it before. I've done it before in a group, but it's something that I've always wanted to try and attempt to do solo and on my own. So I'm tying this in with two things. I'm tying it in with my first solo hike and my first solo wild camp. So we're heading to the Lake District, and what we're planning on doing is we're planning on camping at a tarn just at the bottom of Scafell Pike called Sprinkling Tarn. We're going to camp over there overnight, and then we're going to head up Scafell and hopefully crack out Scafell and maybe a couple more peaks around there. Since we're already 600 metres up the mountain, we might as well see if we can crack a couple of peaks out. So onwards to Sprinkling Tarn. Like I said, it's 5 to 9, so we're probably due to get there about 2 o'clock, and I'll reconvene with you when we're at the bottom of Scafell, ready to climb up to Sprinkling Tarn and hopefully have a good night's sleep. The weather's due to be really good. It's been really bad the last couple of days because of the storm, but it's due to pick up and be nice and sunny today. So I'll see you there. So the time is currently 4:05. We are about 2 hours later getting here than I thought we were. So we've just arrived at Seathwaite. I'm going to quickly get my boots on, get my bag out, and we're going to get going because we're running out of daylight and we've got to be at Sprinkling Tarn before 6 o'clock. That's when the sun sets, so we need to be there to get the tent set up. I've just parked on the layby, just on the road there, so hopefully we'll get there soon. So I'll see you next when we're walking. Bag on. I think we're all ready to go. So we're going to head up that way towards Sprinkling Tarn. Fingers crossed. Time is 4:10. We've got till 6. That's when the sun goes. So we are parked back down this way where this car's coming from. We're parked down that way. This here is the Seathwaite car park and camping ground. We've just parked on the side of the road, but we're going to head along here and up between those two mountains towards Sprinkling Tarn. Not too far away. Hopefully we can do it in the time that we've got. It says about an hour and a half, everyone reckons. So, I've been walking for about 25 minutes now. Obviously when you saw me at the car, I was quite panicked, quite rushed, because I'm hoping we can get to Sprinkling Tarn before we lose the light. I've done a slight adjustment to my plans, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. So at the moment we're following this river here, it runs most of the way up. It's called the Grains Gill, I believe. Now, originally, there's a footbridge coming up here, and just past that I'm going to go left. But originally we were going to go straight on up here. Like I said earlier, well, we're 2 hours late due to traffic on the M6. It was unforeseeable. It's just one of those things that happens. But we adapt, we overcome, and I wanted to get this overnight camping so that tomorrow I can hit Scafell and maybe a couple of the other peaks around that area. So onwards and upwards we go. Earlier, I don't know if you remember me saying, but originally we were going to go up to Stye Head. Now, if we were still doing that, just down there is a little fork and we would have carried on forward. But because we're going straight to Sprinkling, we've taken this path up here. The river that we're following is directly behind me. And that river, we're pretty much going to follow the whole way up till we take a turn back on ourselves towards Sprinkling Tarn. There's loads of people on their way down. These people have probably all summited Scafell today. And they're probably all looking at me thinking, where the hell is he going at 5:45 in the evening? Now I just realised something. The last time I spoke to you guys, I said that it was 5:45. That is not the case at all. It's 5:45. On another note, because of that time, I'm pushing myself a bit harder than I would normally. i.e., I'm extremely out of breath and I'm a bit knackered because I'm trying to get there with as much light left as possible. So, a little bit about today. We're going to be camping at Sprinkling Tarn. That much is clear. I've said that already. On my back, I'm carrying, with water weight and the weight of a couple of beverages, because, come on, you can't go for a wild camp without a few beers. I think I weighed it in about 16 kilograms. Not too much. A lot of you pro wild campers out there will tell me that's unnecessarily heavy, but I just don't know what I could cut out. Why Sprinkling Tarn? Well, for starters, it's got an awful lot of good reviews for wild camping. A nice big area, flat areas, and I've never done Scafell Pike, so I wanted to do Scafell, and I saw it as an opportunity to tie the two things in together. Now, I've done wild camping before, in groups, never done it solo. So this is a whole new territory for me. Normally I'm not the one choosing the ground, whereas this time, I don't have a choice. But, look at this. In fact, let me flip the camera around. Look at this. The scenery here is absolutely phenomenal. I honestly can say 100% I have not been to the lakes anywhere near as much as I should have done. I mean, just look at that. That water feature there. But it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I don't think we've got much further to go. I'm not going to lie. It's about 5 o'clock now, and the sun will be setting at 5:55. And I don't think we've got an hour left to go. I think we'll be there by past. I think it's up here and double back on ourselves. It's over that way, past the sheep, past the mountain. So, hopefully, in not too long, you'll be hearing from me with some nice views of Sprinkling Tarn. So in terms of the walk, it's all ground like this. It's all like this. Gradually up, stepping stones, and you're following, well, what is now become the Ruddy Gill, but it was the Grains Gill. I think that's what it's called, Grains Gill. This one is definitely called the Ruddy Gill. And you're pretty much following this the whole way up. There's no way I couldn't not show you this. Look at the sun setting on those mountains in the distance. And we came from down there. You can't even see the farm, it's in between those two hills. We've come a long way. And I think up here, and round to the right, behind that, that's going to be Sprinkling Tarn. I need to really stop saying that the next time you're going to see me is at the Tarn, because this is the 4th video I've done and I'm still not at the Tarn. However, I wanted to show you this because that over there on the right here, that's the path we've just come from. We've come up and then we're doubling back on ourselves, going back the way we've come, but on the left hand side. And I believe where those two guys are over there, that just over the brow of that hill where they're just getting to now, that will lead us over to Sprinkling Tarn. So we have reached Sprinkling Tarn, but before I show you the Tarn, I wanted to point out this mountain up here behind me. That mountain up there, that's Great End. And now Great End, the reason I'm pointing that out to you up there is because tomorrow when we do Scafell, that's one of the other peaks I'm hoping to hit. I don't, whether I do 3 or not will depend on how quickly we do them 2 in and how I'm feeling after today but going on to tomorrow. And just over this brow here should be Sprinkling Tarn. Now, once we've got there, we've got to pray and hope that the ground isn't like bog marshland, because as of recently we've had a storm, and when I mean recently, the storm literally stopped being a storm yesterday. So we shall see. But as you can see just there, that is just the end of Sprinkling Tarn, and it is so quiet up here. Like, you cannot hear anything. It's so quiet. There's no wind, touch wood. Just this sheep here and the Tarn. This is what we're going to call home for the night. Now, I'm going to take a little wander around it, see if I can find somewhere nice to pitch up my tent that's got a good view. Having a dilemma. I don't know whether to go here and have that view, or to go over this mound and have the view of the valley. I really want to go with this view, but it's so rocky around here, and I kind of want to be somewhere sheltered from the wind. I mean, there's no wind at all at the moment, but if I pitch up and then it's windy in the night, I'm going to be screwed. So I couldn't decide where to go, so I've decided to go here. I've got that view of the valley over there, and I've got the view of Sprinkling Tarn there. Now, I am a bit worried, purely and simply because there is meant to be a northwesterly wind, but it's not meant to pick up too much. So going to get the tent up quickly because, to be quite frank, we're running out of daylight and I need somewhere to sleep. So the tent I'm using today is the Van Gogh Nevis 100. It's a nice little small one-man tent, so it should keep you nice and cosy. Don't know how it's meant to stand up to wind, but we're not meant to have much wind. Going right there. Let's go. So I wanted to show you this before we lost the light, okay? I'm about to go cook some dinner. It's actually currently 6:30, so I'm about to go cook some dinner. We're going to cook it over on that rock over there. I don't know if you can see it, but these are the views I've decided to go for. I've got the Tarn there, and then looking over out that way, I've got the valley we climbed up. I'll show you, flips camera. So there you go. That's the valley that we came from, and then over there is the Tarn, and here is my tent. And in fact, I'll show you inside. So here we go. This is the inside of my tent. I've got my sleeping bag. This sleeping bag, once it's all lofted, will be able to go down to -14. And here's the tent final look. Now, it's a bit of a pig in the poke there. It was mainly because I wanted to get the door better, and that side's obviously just where my bag's going to go, so it's not too much of an issue if it gets soaked. I'll put the rain cover on my bag when I put it there. To be honest, I'm not sure how much you can still see. It's getting pretty dark, if I'm perfectly honest, but I've got myself a beer for cooking. I've got myself a Wiper and True Oktoberfest beer. Cooking my dinner, which happens to be a beef burrito style filling with rice. I'm having some water as well because that walk up almost killed me. The tent is just there, and I'm cooking just here on this rock. Let's set up my stove here. I've got just a normal, it's like a jet boil almost, but it's not. This is called a fire maple stove. You can always buy jet boils. I chose to go cheaper, just purely and simply because, you know, I don't really have the money to spend 100 quid on a jet boil, and this does pretty much exactly the same thing that a jet boil would do, except instead of costing me you know, 100 odd quid, it cost me 60 quid. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I got this. It boils so quickly. It's insane how fast this thing boils water. And yeah, I mean, it's just easy. It's easier than having a normal camping stove. You can have whatever you want. I choose to have this. But this will do me. I'm going to have my coffee as well. So I brought my flask over. I was sensible and filled my flask with water as well to maximise how much water I could bring. But I'll fill this up with a cup of coffee later on as well. Okay. There we go. And then that goes on there. And that boils away. And when that's done, I'll let you know what my beer's like and what my food's like. So my food's all bubbling away there. That up there, that big beast that you can see a silhouette of, that's Great End. My tent's just over there. And then just over there, that's where we came from. So, time to crack open this beer and see what it's all about. I cannot see a thing because that light is really bright. It's been shooken up a bit from the walk up here, I'm guessing. Right. Cheers. It's not bad. It's like your typical German Oktoberfest lager. Really nice. Don't mind that actually. I've got another 2 Oktoberfest beers in the tent. I thought since it's October, might as well. So the temperature has just dropped massively. There's a slight wind chill as well, which I don't think is helping at all. And me being a silly bugger, I thought to pack spare batteries for my head torch. So yeah, that's running out of battery. I have got more torches, but this is the only head torch I've got, which is annoying. About time for dinner, I reckon. That feels nice and warm. My beef and burrito. Put that down there. And I added the coffee to this earlier. Now I just need to pull the water without spilling it all over my hands. So I'll probably do that here. So I brought a bag for rubbish with me, and that's where all of this will be going once we've finished eating dinner. And then that way we keep the countryside looking nice for everyone else to enjoy, and then doesn't affect anybody and everybody has a good time. Right, beef burrito style fillet and rice. Let's see if this is any good. God, it smells good. Oh yeah. That is phenomenal. I'm going to put my can of drink on top of that so that doesn't blow away. That is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Oh, I wonder where I'm heading. Oh, I'm heading over to the tent. But what am I heading to the tent for? Oh, you best believe it. I've got one more beer left. And there it is. Oh, the baby goat. What's it say in it? Session IPA. Shave it off. And how fitting is that, considering there is literally sheep everywhere. I know they're not goats, but hey ho, who cares? Let's go see what it's like. Maybe I should stop doing mountaineering videos and just do beer reviews. I'm kind of enjoying it. Baby goat. Oh yeah, that's the one. What's that? Only 4%, but that is incredible. I tell you what that reminds me of. That reminds me of Punk IPA, Brewdog, so much. So the time is 9:15 and I've got into the tent now. Gonna probably try and get some sleep, settle down, and then get up for first light in the morning to have breakfast and then head for Scafell. So I shall see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It's 7 minutes past 7 and the sun is going to be coming up soon. It's quite windy outside. As you can see, the tent's blowing around a bit. We had some heavy winds between 11 and 12:30. Wind died down throughout the night. And it picked up again about 4:30, and it's been windy since. It's not been too cold. This sleeping bag is really good. I mean, I've kept my base layer and top on, but the sleeping bag's kept me nice and warm and nice and toasty. And the tent has done exactly what the tent needed to do. It's kept me dry. It's kept me out of the wind. So we're going to get out and see what good view we have of the outside. And I think I'll leave the tent up until the sun's completely risen to try and dry off some of the, because although it's not been raining, it's quite damp from the condensation. So we'll, wait for the sun to come up. And once we've packed away everything inside the tent, i.e. the sleeping bag, the sleeping pad, we'll get some food on and get a coffee brewing. But let's go see if we can see a nice sunrise or something. You know, we never know what we might catch. In fact, let me just show you what the tent looks like inside, because you've not actually seen. Really difficult for me to show you, and it's very messy. But it's literally a tunnel. That's the top, and it goes down to there. God, the wind is picking up though. Hopefully the sun will rise soon, and the wind will die down. Right, well, it's time to see what view we're going to be greeted with outside this door. I mean, it's a clear day and we can see, which is good news. So I was just wandering around trying to find some phone signal, and I thought we would just have a look at the integrity of the tent and just see how well it stood up to the wind. I mean, there's my tripod on the floor there, so that clearly didn't stand up to the wind. But as it goes, it's still really, really well pitched. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The only drama I could find was that I was on a slight slant, so my foot end was lower than my head end, so I kept waking up sliding down. But other than that, the tent's absolutely fine. Everything is absolutely intact. Now, I think the sun's going to rise over that way, so we're going to go up on this mountain. I'm going to take some breakfast with me, go up on this mountain, see if we can see the sunrise. But what a view to wake up to regardless. I mean, you've got sprinkling Tarn just there, then that view over there, incredible. So we've got very constant and very strong winds coming from that direction, which is a southwesterly wind, southeasterly wind. All this cloud is falling off the mountain. You can see it's all starting to come in now over there, where the temperatures are starting to rise as the sun comes up. I think I'm going to go get some food on, because there's not much chance of me seeing a sunrise. I mean, kind of a little bit see it over there. It raises here and sets over there. All this cloud that's now coming in from the heavy wind, I'm just not going to see it. So those of you that are eagle-eyed will have worked out that I'm cooking in a different location to what I was yesterday. The tent's just up there. We were cooking yesterday up and round to the left, but it's just too windy around that side. That's where the wind's coming from. So we're going to cook over here. and I've not really got a breakfast. I just bought what I had left over really in my house. So I've got steak and vegetables with dumplings for breakfast. It doesn't matter, anything can be breakfast if you try hard enough, but I think the wind, I can't really tell if the wind's dying down or not because I'm round this corner, but there's no wind round here because we're completely sheltered by this. So hopefully I'll cook some dinner and then the tent will have dried off in a bit. So I've got my food cooking, got my hot water warming up for me coffee, and I'm just preparing my coffee. I use these when I go camping. They're the Nescafe 3-in-1, so it's milk, sugar and coffee all together. Really good, really light, and you know, when you want a hot brew they taste all right. But look, it's clearing up and it's looking, it's going to be a wonderful day. It's going to be such a clear and lovely day. I can't wait. Right, breakfast time. So I said we've got the steak and dumplings. And hopefully, they're going to be nice and warm. Let's see what they're like. Let's do our coffee now, and then I'll review the steak and dumplings. So there's one coffee, and that I'll drink probably up there. Not sure yet, but I'll probably drink that up there. Steak and dumpling time. And remember, leave no trace, so everything goes with us. All the rubbish. And like I said yesterday, I have brought a rubbish bag with me. What is going on here? Yeah, like I said yesterday, I have got a rubbish bag with me. Back at the tent. Here goes. Looks a bit sloppy. Not bad. Steak's really good. It's not as good as yesterday's one, but for hot, warm food, it's a breakfast, isn't it? Right? So I think that is it for the solo wild camp day. If you did enjoy it, please give a like and a subscribe. And if you really, really enjoyed it, go check out today's hike. Well, I was going to say tomorrow's, but today's hike up Scafell. See where my soloing adventures have taken me. So thank you for all of you tuning in to watch my first ever solo wild camp. I can 100% say I'll be doing it again. I've had the best experience ever. It's been amazing. The walk up was wonderful. Yeah, it was windy last night. We had some gusts and it was a bit windy between 11 and 12:30 and between 4:30 and this morning, and it's still a bit windy now, but the tent was amazing. My sleeping bag kept me warm and I've had just an amazing time. It has been wonderful, and to be honest, I would suggest and recommend to anybody that wants to try solo wild camping, get out there and do it. And Sprinkle in Tarn is an amazing location for it. I've got a tent to take down, some food to eat and a mountain to get up, so I'll see you on that video.